Welcome to Grey Primer, a show that's mostly about miniatures. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and in this episode I'm finally getting to share my haul from the UK Games Expo, which happened at the start of June. But why the huge delay? Well, this is the first time I've mingled with a large group of people since the start of the apocalypse, so inevitably I caught a cold. Some call it ConCrud, I like to call it Festival Pestilence, but at least it was just a cold, right? So this UK Games Expo haul is the first video in a batch that I'll be doing as I try to catch up on the content from the last month or so. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see and want to see some more. And thanks to my good friend Dustin Moroz, who recorded my new intro music, and it sounds exactly like this. Rolled into Dublin airport for the first time in years, and it's really nice, if a little quiet. The plane to Birmingham was packed though, and we arrived into the Venice of the North under cover of darkness. The next morning we could see just how close the airport is to our hotel, also close as the NEC, which is only a 90-second shuttle ride from the airport. The shuttle takes you right to the NEC, and the entire experience is pure convenience. The size of the UK Games Expo is breathtaking, and this is just Hall 1 of 3. Yeah, you heard right, Hall 1, Hall 2, Hall 3, then you have the Hilton as well for extended shenanigans. Met the lovely band from OnTabletop and the wonderful Hattie and Guy from MidWinter Minis. And there were even some angry fighty Vikings outside. And then you have the sheer number of exhibitors, which includes retailers, developers, artists, etc. And it's enough to bring you out in a cold sweat. So a little pre-planning will help to ensure you get to visit all your favorites. But let's find out how I spent my time and where I spent my money. When I arrived on the Friday at the NEC, there were some queues to get tickets, but the lines moved pretty quickly and I got my 3-day pass. These were available in different lengths of time, like 1 and 2 days as well, but I was going to be there the whole weekend, so why not? And yeah, you get a little lanyard for it there, and you just keep that around your neck, and it gives you access to all the things. And then you can go pick up one of these for free, which is the quite large guide to the show. Lots of adverts and things, but there's also some really practical information here about how to get around, what all the areas are for, because it is a big show and it's spread out over several halls. All of the sponsors and things are here. There's even a huge complex over at the Hilton for lots of like gaming floors, RPGs, the Starship simulators over there, live entertainment. It's just amazing that it's spread all the way across the road. And I think there's food and drink across there too. And there you can see sort of what we're talking about when it comes to exhibitors. Pages and pages and pages. But yes, a great guide to the show and lots of editorial stuff in there too. The awards section as well, the nominations for that, and then more adverts and things at the back. But yes, very good, well produced, and a nice little keepsake too. There was a company selling Reaper paints, so I picked up a few of those. And really it was just because Squidmar had reviewed them so well, I wanted to check out this MSP, the Master Series paint range. I got myself the primaries there. I didn't bother with white and black because I have good Vallejos of those. And I got this nice little lemon one as well. Yeah, and the staff were lovely at that stall, so that kind of convinced me to get them. The paints, not the staff. I don't think the stall that was selling TT Combat was officially TT Combat, but they had all of their stuff and they had their t-shirts on, so I'm not sure what was going on there. They were also selling ridiculously cheap side clippers. I got these for £4, and I'm always willing to try out new side clippers. You just never know. These look at nice rubberized grippy handles and look to have a fairly fine sort of entry point into the sprue and a decent solid looking spring there at the back. A very simple mechanism. So I'll try those out and let you know what I think. After chatting to the very lovely Peter over at abcbrushes.com, I ended up buying all of these. It's like £25 for all this stuff. We got all sorts of detail brushes, weathering brushes, lovely thick-bellied ones there, and these great sort of broad-bristled, very springy vinyl ones here, which will be perfect for weathering and dry brushing larger surfaces. And yeah, 25 quid. abcbrushes.com. I didn't buy a huge amount of Warhammer stuff, but I did walk away with a Chaos War Shrine and a kit that I've been dying to work with, the Empire Steam Tank. This thing is just begging to be converted into something weird and wonderful. The manufacturer previously known as Atlantis Miniatures, now Blue Giant Studios, were there, and they were selling these amazing dwarf specials. The detail in these miniatures, this is what the minis look like inside the box as well. Sometimes you look at the pictures and covers like this and you're like, yeah, right. But no, the detail is there, and I was blown away. Lots of fun in the sculpts, and they had lots of different types as well to choose from. You can see sort of different warbands or units there. And I think this was only £20 for all these minis. So really great value for money. I will be shopping there again. The bring and buy section of the UK Games Expo is always legendary. This year was no different, and it's one of my favorite sections to just wander around. What did I buy? Well, books, actually. Got the Blood Bowl Almanac. I think all of these were a £5, by the way. Blood Bowl Almanac, this beautiful escalation book for Warhammer 40,000, which is clearly marked store copy, hands off. So whoever, whichever Games Workshop store this originated in, this is now where it lives. Great imagery in this, and I think what sold me on it was it had fantastic pictures of all the different Baneblade variants and with their descriptions. I'd never seen this before, and yeah, that made me very happy. I got an Orcs Codex, I think this is 8th edition. What I loved about this was it just felt like this, compared to the 9th edition Codex, had better images of like the units, much more about the photography I feel in this of miniatures, and then nice details about the different clans, which I feel that the 9th edition is just lacking a little bit. And I like the iconography over here too. So yeah, this just felt like a more rounded codex, and definitely appealed to me, and it looks awesome. And then finally, this Dark Millennium book, which I'd never heard of. I think it's 8th edition as well, going by that logo. And this just looks great, just packed full of lore, and I absolutely will be digging into this and loving every minute of it. 20 quid or something for all of that, and I was a happy, happy boy. And finally, we come to my hobby crush for UK Games Expo, which is a company called Battle Systems. I chatted to Wayne and Colin, two of the principal creatives over at Battle Systems, and they just blew me away with their passion, with their integrity, and I went all in on Core Space, their main game. This thing went to Kickstarter recently with its second version, Firstborn, and it has an additional Kickstarter coming up later this year for a fantasy sort of medieval version of Core Space, which surprisingly is not set in the past but in the distant future of this same universe, which I think is going to be incredibly exciting. And did I go just for the hardback rulebook? No, of course not. I picked up an expansion crew there, the Cygnus crew. What was I going to do with all this stuff if I didn't have anything to play it on? So of course I got the Core Space Core set, and that's just packed full of fantastic scenery and miniatures, and I didn't really stop there. I also got myself one of the Firstborn Kickstarter exclusives they were selling at the show. So that's both core sets of Core Space, the hardback rulebook, and the Cygnus crew. I will have unboxing and miniature reviews of these coming up in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And of course, the other thing that Battle Systems is famous for is their modular 28 to 35mm terrain, and I picked myself up a Citadel. I have always wanted a castle, and here it is. I'm just going to try and incorporate this with my games of Core Space as well, but it's a castle. There's no limit of the games that you can add this to. All of this terrain is flat packed, it's printed on high density card, which just interlocks together. It's full color as well, so you don't have to paint it, and it doesn't feel cheap or thin at all. I was worried when it said that it was card, but when I actually got some of the pieces into my hands, I was like, okay, this is incredibly high quality. And I mean, you only have to listen to this to get a feel for just how heavy this box is. So no worries about this lasting. This is going to last for many, many years. and many terrible battles will be fought within its ramparts. So that was my haul from the UK Games Expo. Thanks so much for checking out all my stuff. Until the next time, take good care of yourself, and bye bye.